on January the 21st is the next stop on the Republican Roadshow. And joining me now is Connelly, chairman of South Carolina's Republican Party. Mr. Connelly, a big night coming your way. Everyone now talking about it as D-Day, really. If Mitt Romney wins 3 out of 3, some of my expert star panel earlier said that would be game over for him. What's your assessment?
Well, no doubt about it, Piers. I got to tell you, I'm loving the best part about seeing all you guys in the media talking about South Carolina. This is the battle royale. This is where it's going to take place. We've got a 30-year track record of picking the right nominee, and we're going to continue that tradition this time around.
It looks like it's going to get ugly. Newt Gingrich has got this super PAC through a very wealthy benefactor, bearing down $3.5 million worth of bile on Mitt Romney's head. Are you happy to see it all kick off like this, or is it good for the party?
Well, this is South Carolina. We're used to the backyard brawl. We understand the primaries are a big fight. They are a vetting out process to pick the nominee. And let's face it, we got to replace that train wreck of a disaster in the White House. So our nominee needs to have a thick skin and be ready for anything. And in our state, we kind of have seen that in the past and expect more of the same.
We had a debate earlier here about whether it was in the GOP's advantage to have a long battle so that the eventual nominee gets battle-hardened for the real battle with President Obama. What do you think of that? I mean, is it a good thing to wrap it up early, or can you see the merits of a good old tussle?
I really think, Piers, that a long, drawn-out battle is not necessarily a bad thing because it engages people nationwide. It gets people involved. They see the candidates all over the nation. So I'm not one of those that thinks we need to wrap this up. I think that there's a possibility of that happening, obviously. But our state's going to dictate. Our voters are going to pick. We're fiercely independent down here, and our folks have a high bar of expecting to meet these candidates. And I've been telling people, whoever comes here and spends the time and connects with our voters is going to end up winning South Carolina. And I believe that'll be our nominee. If it is drawn out, I believe it'll make our nominee better, and we're going to beat Barack Obama next fall.
South Carolina is also famously fiercely evangelical. You have a front runner who is a Mormon. Is that going to be a problem for him, do you think?
Well, we are fiercely evangelical, but really what really sets South Carolina apart is we're the first state that has that good blend of the Republican base. We've got the social conservatives, we've got the military conservatives, and the fiscal conservatives. I think that the story about Governor Romney's Mormonism probably played well 4 years ago, but I think it's a little bit drawn out by the national media and not near as big a story as maybe it has been in the past. When
you look at Mitt Romney's campaign, he's been incredibly steady. He's barely put a foot wrong. But he can't seem to really galvanize the Republican vote yet. What's he got to do you think, to do that? Because until he does that, until the party falls in love with him, he's always going to have this problem. Well, with this many people in the race, it's not an unusual thing that you see it split so much. And I've got friends in every camp, all the 6 remaining candidates. I know people in all those campaigns, and all of them need to do the same thing. Like I was saying before, they've got to get here, they've got to campaign, they've got to go to the nooks and crannies and meet folks in the diners. And whoever creates that buzz that extends to the churches and the basketball courts and the gymnasiums this winter is going to create the buzz that gives them this victory. Well, Connelly, get your best suit out because the whole world's eyes will be on you on January the 21st. Best of luck. Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, Piers. Have a good night. My pleasure. Up next...